Welcome to Muir Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including Furiosa premiering at Cannes 2024. Cool. Loki Season 2. What's going on with that? That just debuted last night for most people, didn't it? It's a wonderful knife, a Christmas horror movie. In fact, we got a couple of horror movie trailers like Night Swim that is coming out soon. Chris Rock directs a movie, but we start off today's show by talking about The Exorcist Believer that just opened up this weekend, and I saw my Thursday night screening of it, and it's on pace to have a franchise best opening. Is that possible? What? Thursday night previews were saying that it's only about 2 or 3 million, which is not good. But, I might be underestimating the Exorcist fandom out there, because there are people out there that are looking forward to this and want to see this. So, I think what we should do is just start in with my review of what I thought about this. So let me just get this set up here and make sure that I got all the pieces set up, which I forgot to pull up the trailer for it, because I do want to take a look at the trailer. Sorry, my bad. I completely forgot that. Okay, so we'll have that, and we'll have the Exorcist Believer IMDb. Sorry, I thought I pulled up all these things, but I forgot. Okay. And we're ready to rock and roll. Okay. Let me reset the music here. The Exorcist Believer is out now, guys. The most anticipated horror movie of the October season. Maybe. I don't know. Was it? The Exorcist Believer is a new trilogy planned out by Jason Blum, right? Directed by David Gordon Green. When two girls disappear into the woods and return 3 days later with no memory of what happened to them, the father of one girl seeks out Chris McNeil, who's been forever altered by what happened to her daughter 50 years ago. Yeah. So, the cast. Ellen Burstyn returns in this role, and that was kind of fun to see that. But the standout here is Leslie Odom Jr., and I said that in my straight out of the theater reaction. Good actor, and I want to see a lot more from him. Ann Dowd was in this. It got hokey at times with Ann Dowd's character. Linda Blair is being credited here. And guys, if this is a movie that you're going to be waiting for streaming services, and which I said that you should do in my straight out of the theatrical reaction, was that it's long. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. Sorry, an hour and 50 minutes, just under 2 hours. And you're going to feel that for the first hour. You'll be like, wait, nobody's possessed yet? What's going on here? And then it gets, if you like the movie Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi movie, where you like people with all the makeup on and acting weird and stuff like that, then the last act is going to be probably for you. It just takes a while to get there. There's some interesting ideas in there, but yeah, the girls go off and they go missing, and it's kind of like they're doing some kind of a ritual thing in the forest. And then they show up, and here's what I said. You remember in the first Exorcist where you got to see the father being skeptical about it and stuff like that, and the church really doesn't like to do this kind of thing. And then we saw, like the thought process behind all of that stuff. They tried to do that a little bit here towards the end, but what it made me feel and want to do is go watch movies like, actually, The Nun 2 covered this stuff better. The Pope's Exorcist covered this kind of material, this angle, much better than this movie did. So it does have some script issues, and there's no getting away from that. I can't say that it doesn't. How does it look cinematically? I'd say it's somewhat competently shot, but we've seen it in the trailers when one of the girls starts to like freak out in the church. And yeah, they try to go back to that, oh, she's doing something gross to herself, like Reagan did, right? It just felt like a copycat. And that's not what you want to have, right? That's not, you don't want to rinse and repeat. It's good to, it's nice to play homage, but I don't believe it. I didn't believe this Exorcist Believer. And I don't know why it's called Believer, by the way. It's just call it The Exorcist. And so, yeah, when she's walking in here and she's like screaming, his blood in his flesh, his blood in his flesh, it's kind of like, would everybody just be standing there watching this little girl with what appears to be blood on her, screaming this? Would they really be just sitting there going, are we going to get out of here in time to watch the football game? And then, yeah, the hokiness towards the end. The acting, I think, was there. They did a good job in casting the girls to do it. But it's kind of like, did I miss something in here? That's what it felt like. I felt like I missed, like they shot a part of the story that didn't make the final cut. And you see things happening. And yeah, Leslie Odom Jr., he brings it all. But it's kind of like you got this Wiccan earth person here helping with the exorcism. They do neck twisting and stuff like that. So if that's what you're looking for, it's kind of like, it's sort of there, but it's not really all quite there. So what am I thinking about this in trying to set this up for score? Acting, the acting, Leslie Odom Jr., he brought it. There's at least one good performance in there. So out of that, I would say, yeah, 1.5, but the story is so bland and generic. I gotta, there's some bold ideas in there by bringing in the earth person, the Wiccan sort of person, and just to have the normal pastor in there as well. It was interesting, but this movie fails in its directing, and it's hard not to be critical of this. It's not. Because you're just like, if this was in the better hands, in someone's better hands, it would have worked a whole lot better. And they try to save the theme in there, the Exorcist theme. And this is directing choices. Where to use the music. How am I setting up the shots? How am I putting this story together? I just felt like it didn't deliver. Because, as you can see there towards the end, they do try to set up some stuff where it's like, okay, there's some trauma in the father-daughter relationship here. There's some trauma there. Where's the mother? They do explain that stuff. But it doesn't feel like it comes around full circle to complete the story arc. It's just a weak attempt. But the elements are there. Sort of, it's just not well put up on the screen. It's not. And is the scare factor there? Is it scary? This movie, if you want to look up a definition for jump scares, this is it. It does. Those jump scares do get you, but any kind of loud noise and an unexpected time will make you jump. So there you go. That's what you're going to get. Jump scares and these girls at times going, oh. It's like, for God's sakes. For God's sakes. That's all I was saying through this. So I'm not going to ramble on and on about this. What are people saying about this? Let's go take a look at the tomato meter. Oh, whoa, 20%. Now, obviously, you've seen from my early scoring here, I'm a little bit higher than 20%. They're being a little bit harsh on this. We don't have quite some audience score just yet, but it's 10:40 in the morning on Friday. So, yeah. Let's see what some of the snapshot reviews are saying. ABC News. William Friedkin's original 1973 take on demonic possession was thrilling too much. This sorry sequel from David Gordon Green is boringly too little. Believe this. If you tell the marketing devils lure you into this one, you're in for an unholy mess. Though Green tries all types of terror tactics, from sudden jump cuts, yeah, I talked about that, to graphic gore, there isn't a single scare in the entire 121-minute movie. Yeah, there's nothing in here that'll make you go, like, worried to go to sleep without the lights on at night. It's just not one of those experiences. It's just like, it's there. Is it passable? Would you say that it's passable? No. Let's take a look at somebody who did like it. Wall Street Journal. Successfully stringing together shocking, disgusting, and terrifying moments counts as a solid day's work for most horror directors. And since The Exorcist Believer achieves all that it's competent enough, but I expected better from Mr. Green. So even somebody who liked it is calling out the directing here. And it's hard not to. It's really hard not to. So as you can see, it's not that great of a movie. And I said it in my straight out of the theater reaction. Guys, I'm a horror fan. So of course, it takes a lot to scare me. But I just like to be immersed in that horror world, in that ambiance. It was hard at times to get immersed into it because some silly stuff happens where you're just like, yeah, I shouldn't be laughing at this. I really shouldn't. But you are, and it's kind of like, that's just lack in execution. So let's finish up my ranking of this, and we'll cut bait of this film because I don't think it's going to fare well at the box office. Score was there. I'm going to leave that at 0.5 because it was, cinematography is out of 1. Cinematography and score are out of a possible 1 point each. So that's 0.5. Sorry. Acting, directing, and story and watchability are out of a possible 2 points each. Watchability factor. Score, yeah. The music, when it does play, it's nice to hear. Cinematography let this one down too. Watchability factor. If you're a fan of the Exorcist franchise, you'll be checking this out regardless. If you're for some reason a fan of David Gordon Green, I guess you'll be checking this out. If you want to see, if you're curious to see if they work Linda Blair back into this movie somehow, you'll want to check this out. But expect this. If you're expecting to see Linda Blair in this, expect it on a TV screen somewhere or a picture. That's what I would tell you. Does it have a payoff a little bit with it? Perhaps. It does have some Easter eggs and throwbacks to the first movie, but it's just like, that's not enough. And it has really nothing to do with what the story is for this movie. So 4.5 out of 10 for The Exorcist Believer. That feels about right. And I think that's a generous 4.5 because you saw the critics were 2 out of 10. And it's like, yeah, not a good movie. Not a good experience. And I looked for all the good things. I told you the good things. Leslie Odom Jr., good actor. I want to see more from him. He's somewhat of a kindred spirit, I would say. I noticed something about him while I was watching it. And very few people have the same qualities. So it's cool when I see people with the same attributes, if you know what I mean. Cool. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Guys, what did you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, if you like this kind of thing, do you know that we do a movie news live show throughout the week? Mondays and Fridays are confirmed that we do, and we talk about all these trending movie news headlines. What else can you find? We do full movie reactions for The Wishmaster. That's up on the channel right now. What did I say is better, The Wishmaster or Exorcist Believer? Wishmaster. The creator reviews up on the channel. Saw 10 and Saw 10 right now, guys. If you want to see a good horror movie this weekend, skip Exorcist Believers, go watch Saw 10. We're watching Survivor right now up on the channel. We just wrapped up Ahsoka, and that was fun. We do writing sessions like I wrote a treatment outline script for what my version of what a Friday the 13th reboot would be. We're watching Hell's Kitchen, and of course then we do movie news here. So hey, if you like that kind of stuff, you like this kind of stuff, you like talking about movies, you like talking about series, you're gonna like it here on the channel Mirror Domains. All right, guys, that's it. Hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. All right, let's take some live comments here. Artglass says, perhaps The Exorcist is expected to do well, as the horror genre is notorious for having low expectations but high volume of fans wanting a scare or two around Halloween. Yeah, now here's the thing too. If you're like a religious person and you believe in God and the devil and stuff like that, yeah, I could see that some of this, but just thematically, would be disturbing to you. But they don't really go into all of that lore. They don't talk about that much. It just left me frustrated. Hopefully, that is the worst movie of the year out of the way. So the only way up is. The only way is up from here. Yeah, fingers crossed. It's going to be interesting to see what other people are saying about this. It is, because early reports that we did see is that The Exorcist Believer is on pace to have a franchise best opening. Franchise best. Yeah, let's take a look at the numbers. Franchise best, huh? Well, Exorcist Believer and Deceiver is supposed to be the next one. Exorcist Deceiver. Well, the thing is about the original Exorcist, when it came out in 1973 with a budget of $12 million, they didn't have like early opening weekend numbers. They just weren't tracking that. For a worldwide box office of 428, yeah, the property there it's there. Nobody in, well, a few people in the horror fandom recognizes Exorcist II: The Heretic. That one was slapped together so quickly. Well, not quickly, because it came out 4 years later, but it was kind of like, I don't know what they were doing with that movie. It wasn't good, right? I do like Exorcist 3 a lot, and that a lot of that had to do with Brad Dourif, right, and George C. Scott. That carp in the tub. Yeah, God, I love that scene. Anyway, yeah, and that also did have jump scares. Remember Exorcist 3, when that hallway scene is a big scare for a lot of people. But it didn't have that eeriness to it. Like both Exorcist and Exorcist 3 had like that unsettling feeling of like there is something supernatural going on here that's grotesque. And you didn't quite get that with Exorcist Believer. Exorcist the Beginning. I don't know what the heck. Do I remember that? What the heck is that? Is that made for TV? I don't know. Do I even remember that? Exorcist the Beginning. Yeah, but I don't think that if this movie bombs and tanks, you're not getting The Exorcist Deceiver. I don't see that happening. Exorcist New Beginning. Maybe I did see this one. I don't remember it though. Let me pull up the IMDb. Stellan Skarsgård was in it. I must have seen it then. It was more about the archaeologists going to find the idol, right? Was that it? Years before Father Lancaster Marin helped save Regan, he first encountered the demon Pazuzu in East Africa. This is the tale of Father Marin's internal battle with Pazuzu as he rediscovered his faith. I think I vaguely remember something about this now. But this came and went and completely flew under the radar. Why is nobody else talking about this one? I might have to revisit this one because I do like Stellan Skarsgård, top talent. Who else was in it? James Darcy, Ben Cross, Isabella Scorupco. Oh, David Bradley. Cool. He was in this. Um, yeah. As far as the tracking goes, though, I'm I don't have my. I think it's not going to do well. And as I said, if you're looking for a decent horror experience and you don't have a whole lot of money to spend, go see Saw 10. That won't let you down. It's going to give you the gore. It's going to give you some unsettling moments, and it's got like a fairly well competently executed story in there where you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm actually rooting for Jigsaw. I'm rooting for Jigsaw. Wow, how's that possible? But that's what happens. Anyway, the hallway scene in Exorcist 3 was so unexpected chills. Yeah. 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 All right. Yeah. Let's get back into what's going on here with the movie news headlines. All right. Opening this week is The Exorcist Believer, but we got some other things opening up as well. Not on in movie theaters, but on streaming services. So, Exorcist Believers, the big main one. Paw Patrol will still. I think Paw Patrol is still going to be number one. But then Saw 10 and The Creator, Expendables is still playing. Nun 2. My value for Nun 2 just went up a lot more now after watching Exorcist. It did. It's like that one was so much way better done. Like after you like I was harsh on the Nun 2. I was very critical. But now I'm thinking, yeah, watch that one over Exorcist. And then we got some foreign ones. Chang'an, Mandarin, and Mission Raniganj, where they try to save some trapped miners in a mine somewhere that collapses. Fascinating. Is that based on a true story or a remake of something? I have to check that out. But we also have a movie called Total Killer that's out on. Okay, so Total Killer is out on Amazon Prime, they're saying. And that's Kiernan Shipka. That's where isn't that the one where she time travels back in time to the 80s with her mother to try to solve a murder or something? Or she goes back in time with her teenage mother to solve a murder? Horror comedy about Gen Z teen who accidentally time travels to the 1980s, where she tries to stop a serial killer spree before it begins. Now that seems more interesting than Exorcist. It does, for me at least. Uh, yeah, Back to the Future meets Happy Death Day kind of thing. Yeah, on Amazon. So it opens up today, guys. And if I had Amazon, I would be watching that movie. Kiernan Shipka is an unwitting Marty McFly. uh, so I expect a cheeky ride from that one. I do. What else? It's rumored that, yeah, isn't Pet Cemetery also opening up today on streaming? Pet Cemetery Bloodlines? I think it is. Lindsay Anderson Beers talks her prequel to Stephen King's classic novel and Tarantino's Star Trek. Um, Apparently this one's not that good either, guys. Beer is making her feature debut as Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. Paramount Plus. So yeah, This is Pet Cemeteries on Paramount Plus. Um, I'm curious about it because they took a small chapter or a small section of the Pet Cemetery, like when Jed was talking about the nephew that came back and they brought him back. That's what this movie's about, right? Sometimes dead is better. And they took a small part of that and exploded it out into a movie, which can be done, but it's all about the execution. And I'm I'm hearing that it's not that good. Let me just take a look at it on the tomato meter. See if there's a score for that yet. 17% by critics, 80% by the audience. So here's the thing about this Pet Cemetery is that just like Exorcist, it has its hardcore fans. So the audience that for this will be people wanting to search this out, wanting to go out and find it, wanting to see what the new thing is in this universe. But then after they see it, what kind of a movie fan are they? They just put it down and say, I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear criticism, or are they students of filmmaking, or they're big movie fans and they want to learn more. And it sucks because I had high hopes because it had Henry Thomas, and I do like David Duchovny. I do. Maybe it just felt too much like a retread. Guardian, who didn't like it, a prequel wanted by few and needed by none. Bloody Disgusting. They do horror stuff, so let's see what they said. It's a prequel that doesn't care for tidy canon. The aim is to use these familiar characters and the setting to induce scares. It's not helped by editing that feels like it's much of this choppy story was left on the editing room floor. I don't like, the editing, that gives me pause. That goes to directing. Directing is editing because they got input. Does anybody like this film? Give me somebody who did like it. One person. Sean Chandler didn't like it. Let's see what he said. While there's some interesting ideas presented with the mythology, it lacks the emotion of the original story. In place of the exploration of how far you would go to bring back someone you loved in a series as a generic creepy sequences and action movie tropes. Yeah. So somebody who did like it. Bloodlines expands on a familiar mythos, giving it a much needed cultural update, paving the way for interesting new characters, generations, and supernatural horrors. And plenty of gore. Well, okay. But delivering gore, as we've been seeing, may not just be enough. Let's go over and see what Totally Killer has been getting. 77% by critics, 89% by the audience. So Totally Killer on Amazon, guys. I think that's the one where you want to check out. Yeah, if you're going to skip the theaters this weekend, it looks like Totally Killer, horror comedy, hour 43 minutes might be the way to go. Yeah, it did pique my interest there, the concept of it being like a comedy as well, going back to the 80s with the big hair and stuff like that, and seeing somebody react to all of that, the hairspray. that caught my eye. There's some fun there that you could have, for sure. Hollywood Reporter liked it. Totally Killer may not be destined to become a classic on its own right, but the Amazon release is fun enough for a spooky season night in. So that tells me that it's got possible cult classic fare qualities to it. New York Times didn't like it. The somewhat gimmicky genre combination may have had the potential to be a winning combo, but Totally Killer, directed by Nanchuk Khan, struggles to muster up enough charisma to stick the landing, so they didn't like the final act. Totally Killer doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and major revelations fall flat because of it. Well, you're dealing with time travel, and I'm sure there's got to be scenes in there. I would hope that there's scenes in there that go through some of the mechanics, the logic of how this time travel works, because we'll need that as the audience. Very Michael Myers-esque mask. What is that, at a fair? They're all wearing Michael Myers masks. Or I guess that's the design of the killer's mask. Very interesting. Okay, what else is opening up? There is one more that I did pull, but I don't see where I put that story. Oh yeah, this. This actually opened up a while ago, apparently. When I pulled this up, VHS 1985, it said September, but I think it actually opens up on Shudder this weekend. Shudder has VHS. And what caught my eye, we talked about this yesterday. Yeah, October 6th is when this comes out on Shudder, guys. Is that a segment of this apparently takes place in the Black Phone universe. Scott Derrickson's Black Phone. Do you remember that last year with Ethan Hawke? The kids yeah, you see the poster, you recognize it, right? Talks to ghosts to get out. Apparently, there's a segment in there that takes place in that universe. I don't know if it's going to be tied exactly to that killer or just characters. I think it's just characters that get referenced. But that caught my eye. So if you have Shudder, that's an interesting choice perhaps this weekend as well. Oh, there's an actual universe crossover in there, which I guess I made it into too subtle because nobody's picking it up. Well, we are now, Scott Derrickson. James Ransone tells Detective Wayne when he's behind the glass, he's talking about Gunther, he says. He's had these dreams that are prophetic, and he says, my sister had the same gift. They drove her crazy. Okay. So I've only seen Black Phone once. I thought it was a quaint film. I don't think it was Derrickson's best work. I still think that's sinister. But it was cool to see Ethan Hawke and him team up again. But if you are curious about the VHS movies, the anthology type of found footage horror, VHS might be one that you want to check out on Shudder this weekend as well. If going to the movie theater to see Chucky. Wait, Chucky? What? No, Chucky reacts to the Exorcist Believer promo. That's right. So, yeah, up on Chucky is Real's Instagram, I guess Chucky reacted to a little bit of this. I'm going to see if I can pull up a little bit of the audio of the trailer and see what Chucky had to say. Was it Brad Dourif that did this?
Let's go.
We've met before.
Mother. No one possessed them to put me through that.
Was that Brad Dourif? That's kind of meta because Brad Dourif is actually in Exorcist 3. Yeah, that's an interesting connection.
Love it.
Okay, so it's just him reacting to the clips. So go over and check that out. And if you are still thinking that you want to go out and see The Exorcist Believer, well, guys, you might, I don't know, if you're just, wait for the 4K edition. They're already got details about the 4K Steelbook edition for this. That means they're way ahead of this. They know that it's not going to do well. So what is it going to be, like a 30-day release before we can get the 4K edition? This is a movie that's like, no, guys. But hey, if you're a collector, maybe it's not going to be worth that much. This is one of those movies that will, you bought it for $20 and you won't be able to sell it for like $5 10 years from now. Jeez. But those are your choices, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Well, because I did go out to the theater to see The Exorcist, I saw the trailer for a movie called Night Swim. It comes out January 5th. Feature-length version of a 2014 short film about a woman swimming in her pool and at night terrorized by an evil spirit. Directed by Bryce McGuire. Bryce McGuire. who's done a lot of writing. He's directed Every Haunted House, The Whistler, Jesus Fish, Night Swim. So this trailer has Kerry Condon in it and Wyatt Russell, the son of Kurt Russell. Fascinating. And the trailer played out just as you thought that it would. I guess based on a short film. It shows like this pool. And I just remember it ending with her swimming, and the spirit shows up behind her, pulls her down underneath the water. Yeah, it was just. Oh yeah, they're playing Marco Polo. That's the way that was. I guess it's trying to get into the trope of swimming at night is scary. I don't know. From James Wan, producer. Now, he's not directing this, as you saw. So he's producing this, or at least he's got his name attached to it. And it's from Blumhouse.
Yeah. Why aren't you saying anything? Ronan, you're dead.
Was that? Is that Kerry Condon? I don't know. It's eerie. I'll give it that, but it's kind of like they try to save the big scare towards the
Marco.
end. That's her hand. So I don't know if it's a ghost or if it's kind of like, if you ever seen that movie Lady in the Water from M. Night Shyamalan, if there's like a secret, a great cave underneath the grating, I don't know. Night Swim. I don't know. It's weird. No swimming pool was ever haunted, right? Blumhouse staff probably. How do you make a feature-length movie out of one teenager dying in a haunted pool? We all know the proper movie. You need a whole group of teenagers. Yeah. I wouldn't have opened my eyes way sooner. I would have opened my eyes way sooner. A gateway to some Eldritch monster. Eldritch monster? Dimension under the swimming pool? Scariest thing about that pool is the heating bill. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do like Kerry Condon. Is she going to be our Invisible Woman? I don't know. By the way, I hear that Fantastic Four movie that they're trying to get off the ground, it's not in good shape. Apparently, the script is not good, and that's one of the reasons why Adam Driver said no thanks. Said no thanks. Yeah. Ardglass says, I watched Crawl Space last night with Henry Thomas. I wish I hadn't. Really, I thought I heard good things about that one. Anything 80s piques my interest. Total Killer would be entertaining. Yeah. Apparently, the Spanish movie Nowhere is traumatic and is tense. It's on Netflix. Let me pull that up. Actually, I do think I remember seeing.
See the ballets over there.
Fair Play is also out on Netflix.
If I have to choose between you and the promotion,
a racy thriller of some kind. Nowhere. Pregnant, alone, and drifting in the sea, a woman is trapped on a shipping container and tries to survive after fleeing a devastated totalitarian country. An hour and 49 minutes. Oh, hey. Rated for nudity. Could we watch that one this afternoon? I don't know. Let me just see if 2023 Parents Guide. Let's see where what the nudity rating is. In one scene, a woman takes off her clothes, becomes naked while giving birth. Oh, it's a birthing scene. Birthing scenes are notorious, yeah. And in the same scene, gives her clothes are shown for 20 seconds. In some scenes, well, okay, a woman is clearly visible. But I'm going to watch that one. Maybe on my own private time, I'll watch that one. this weekend. I'll watch that. It's a long weekend. Or I'll scan the movie for where the nudity is, and then we'll have to check it out. You had me at Black Phone Universe. I've wanted to watch the VHS movie series. I'll binge them over the next month. I don't have Shudder. I wish that's one that I would like to sign up for. It's just monthly costs. Netflix is not cheap, man. And I hear Netflix might be upping their prices, which sucks. All right. On top of that, the Night Swim trailer. It's a Wonderful Knife trailer. Let's take a look at that. Justin Long horror movie about Christmas. And this one looks hokey. This looks like typical slasher. And I don't know what Justin Long's doing, but he's trying to inject some kind of character, like character acting. He's trying to transform into something here.
Angel Falls, I give you Christmas.
See? Look how you do.
Angel Falls, I give you Christmas.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got fake teeth in there, like I don't know. But yeah, there's a masked killer that kills a bunch of young people, and they reveal that Justin Long is the killer in the trailer. That one just kind of like, I don't know.
Errol Waters? Last Christmas still haunts me.
It looks like it's going to be cheeky. I think they're going for a Silent Night kind of a tone.
I stood under the aurora and said everyone would be better off if I never existed.
But it's got like that Thanksgiving vibe. We just watched a trailer for Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. It's got that kind of vibe. And this visage, that's not scary. It's a slasher flick. I like the helicopter drone shots of this town, though.
No one in this town knows me.
Who are you?
Dad.
You weren't around to stop him, so he just kept going.
You.
Yeah. So it seems like typical run-of-the-mill fare, which is fine. There's a time and place for that.
You be safe now.
You'll be safe now. Yeah, see, Justin Long's trying to do something different with it. It's a Wonderful Knife trailer. Justin Long's career is in horror films is brilliant. Not many actors can match him, though. IMO. Justin Long is one of the greatest, most consistent actors out there. Love him and everything. So it's got Justin Long fans. Justin Long is more terrifying than the killer. The killer looks iconic. I love this look. I wish Scream would give us all white Ghostface during a Christmas setting. I think that would be so chilling. I can't wait for this film. This is definitely one I've had my eye on its development when it was first announced. I didn't know what to expect, but it looks like a ton of fun. Very cool. So it's got horror fans and Justin Long fans. Do we got a release date? The film is not yet rated. No release date, huh? Oh, I guess around Christmas. It's weird that you put out a trailer and didn't put up the release date. Let's go over to the IMDb. November 10th. November 10th. Why couldn't you say that in the trailer? I don't know. Maybe the mask will work. Very like Moon Knight with the costume choice, but I guess they're going for an Angel of Death vibe for its Wonderful Knife. It's a Wonderful Knife. Yeah. Maybe. Who's the girl in there? Jane Widdop. Oh, Catherine Isabel. We haven't seen her in a while. She was in Ginger Snaps, right? Ginger Snaps, yeah. She was good in that, and she was in Freddy vs. Jason as a small bit. She was in Insomnia. She has been working, though. Is this her older? Okay, that's her old right there. All right, fascinating. She's a director now too. She's directed some stuff. Cool. I like that. Anyway, it's a Wonderful Knife. What do you guys think about that trailer? Did you watch it? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Let's get back into some of these other movie stories. We're running way behind. So, Loki. Let's talk about this. Did you guys watch it? Are you Loki fans? Loki puts plot over people in a less focused season 2. Well, that's not good. That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching the first season was because it didn't feel focused. I felt like we were going. I liked Lady Loki. I wanted to see a lot more of her, and I would follow her over Tom Hiddleston. Because they need to put Loki to bed. They do. He's dead in the MCU. I don't know. He's got his fan base. I'm in the minority on it. I know I'm very much in the minority of it. So I'm not going to rag on it, guys. But this kind of headline doesn't shock me. But I thought people liked it. 86% by critics. Well, I know other channels are watching it and stuff, doing their watch-alongs for it. If I did it, guys, I would be forcing myself to do it. And I don't want to force myself to do it. I don't. I like Tom Hiddleston as an actor. He's really good. "2 years, Loki is back, and not a moment too soon." But yeah, I enjoyed the first episode of Loki season 2. Kiwi Kwan is a great addition to it. Well, yeah, I heard that too. That Kiwi Kwan he's just got that charisma to him that you want to watch whatever he's doing, right? I don't know. Puts plot over people in a less focused season 2. I'll keep my finger on the pulse and see what other pundits and people are saying about it. But as you guys know, you know my feelings of it, so it's kind of like I don't want to rag on it too much. So there we go. Furiosa is a movie I'm looking forward to with Anya Taylor-Joy. George Miller's Furiosa, prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. 9 years after Fury Road, I guess Furiosa is being eyed to be at Cannes 2024. Well, that's cool. And I think Furiosa is all done. It's all in the can. It's now in the post-production stage. They finished shooting it. Anya Taylor-Joy is the younger version of Imperator Furiosa. And Chris Hemsworth is going to be playing one of the bad guys, which is cool. That caught my eye. Hemsworth, seeing him take on a different role. Well, he's played a little bit of a bad guy in Spiderhead, right? But I feel like Khan, okay, cool. Looking forward to it. Sorry, we got to bounce through some of these headlines here. We're way behind schedule. Where do we spend most of our time today? I don't know. I just looked at the time. It's like 11:20 already. Wow. Taylor Swift Eras Tour film surpasses 100 million in advanced ticket sales. Next week, guys, next Friday at 4:30 p.m., I'll be going to see this movie. So pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction around 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish, because it's 3 hours, guys. It's 3 hours. I don't know if I'm going to have a popcorn. Maybe I'll have some nachos to watch Taylor Swift. And I am. I'm getting hyped for this. 100 million. Let's see. Let me pull up my theater listings and see what if you can actually get a ticket for it. And I'm in the Prime Theater. I'm in the, okay, so that all grays. So you got some here and there. Those will be the stragglers thinking that they come in the last minute. But you see, even the front rows are filled up. And that's for the 4 o'clock show. Whoops. What the? Is there a Thursday night show of that? No, that won't have an advanced show because that's a specialty kind of event. Wait a minute, 4:30 show. Where's the 4:30 show that I got tickets for? What? Hold on here. I'm gonna be very upset if they canceled that. Or maybe that one's all sold out? What? Okay, they're saying that they just updated. I gotta log back in. What the heck? I bought tickets for that a while ago, guys. I'm scared. I'll figure that out after the show. Damn. If they cancel that 4:30 show, I will not be impressed. Why though? 6 p.m. at the VIP theater. Damn, and why can't I log into my tickets here? Damn, that makes me very angry. And now I don't even know my password. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that. I can't. But it says October 13th, 4 p.m. I might have to go over to the theater this afternoon to figure out if that's for sure. Because I'm not going to be happy if that's canceled. I'm not. And if it's a 7:30 show, at least I'll be lucky that there's a 7:30 show. I don't know. I'll sort that out. I'm not happy about that. That made me concerned. All right, back into the movie news, James. Gareth Edwards believes big budget franchises can adopt his more affordable approach. Says the Rogue One filmmaker of his methods on his latest project. It's more creative, easier, and cheaper, and I don't want to go back to the other way of doing a big film. Yeah, I heard that while they were making The Creator, there's some, you know how they release those behind-the-scenes things? I like The Creator a lot. And there was a shot of, I guess, one of the trucks spinning over or something like that in a crash. And the visual effects guys were like, okay, well, we're going to have to build this big rig kind of thing. And we're going to have to allot a certain amount of the budget to film this one shot. And Gareth Edwards was like, no, we're not. Here's how we're going to achieve the shot. We're going to set up something in the background so that through the window, you'll just see chaos going on, and I'll be in the camera, and we'll do like the Star Trek kind of thing where you just, as an actor, you move over like this, and people, stagehands, will rock the thing back and forth. That's all they'll do. Those techniques, I don't know why we still don't use those techniques. We should. There's ways to do it. Instead of going the way of, oh yeah, we got to build this big expensive set and stuff like that. It's like, no, there's way to streamline it. Because he's got the shot compositions all up here. He knows what it will look like when it's done. And yeah, that's a cool thing. So I think you're going to give it a go, yeah. If you take an indie movie Excel document and start adding zeros, it's most liberating thing in the world. So there's a big article about that. Yeah, and how he had like a small team that would travel around to all the locations in the world, and it was just a small, tight crew to get the shots. And I think he did a lot of the camera holding, cameraman work himself. So that was cool to learn that. And that's the way it should be done. You don't need to set up these big, huge trailer cities to, in each location. Like, that's where the money ramps up. And you develop a team, a crew, where it's like, yeah, we're a family and we make movies together. Like, yeah, that's Gareth there, down on his hands and knees with the camera, getting the shot that he wants for his film. That's cool. Please don't make us wait another 7 years for your next feature. I'm going to try. Maybe it'll be 6.5 years, he jokingly says. In a facetious way, yes. Right? Yes. I still like the creator. I know it has its script issues. It's like story issues, like things happen in a little bit Deus Ex Machina kind of way, but visually it's stunning, guys. I think it's totally worth the watch. All right, I'm going to break through some of these stories rather quickly. Chris Rock tapped to direct Universal's Martin Luther King Jr. biopic for Universal. Chris Rock? Has Chris Rock ever directed anything? Now, did he direct Spiral? Did he direct Spiral? Give me his directing credits. So he's directed some stand-up specials. No, he didn't direct Spiral. He produced Spiral, though, didn't he? Head of State. Oh, he executive produced Spiral. So he hasn't directed anything, but they want to give him controls of a Martin Luther King biopic. That's tense. That's big subject matter. Biopic, huh? All right. They just go on to give a history of who Martin Luther King was. Guys, I'm just going to bounce through a bunch of headlines here as I try to wrap things up because I'm behind schedule. Emma Stone wants to make a feature-length silent movie. It's my favorite thing to not have to speak. That seems to be the trope going around these days, right? John Woo's new movie, Silent Night or whatever it's called. Joel Kinnaman gets a throat injury and doesn't talk throughout the movie. We just watched a movie on Hulu and Disney Plus called No One Can Save You about alien abduction. The girl in that didn't really talk throughout the movie. It's subtly becoming a motif in Hollywood where, hey, this is the new toy to play with. Have your main actor not speak. Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage did that. In fact, that was one of the edicts that made Nicolas Cage sign on to that project, was that I don't want to speak a word of dialogue. So it looks like Emma Stone wants to try her hand at it, which is fine because you got to use your face and emotions and stuff to convey what that person is feeling. It's a trope, and unfortunately, it's a trope that I don't think has a big shelf life. Emma Stone can be seen next in Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things, where she plays like a Frankenstein monster kind of thing. I'm looking forward to that. That's one of my most anticipated left of this year, actually. Emma Stone, top tier talent. I wouldn't knock it, but I'd be wanting to see it. Next, Horizon, an American Saga teaser trailer released. Kevin Costner directed epic. Yeah, from what I heard, this is 2 movies. Now, some people have said that it was up to 4. It was going to be 4 movies, but I think it's 2 right now. Kevin Costner's Horizon will span 15 years in settlement of America's western frontier and focus on both the settlers as well as indigenous groups that first occupied the land. Well, he did Dances with Wolves. People liked him on Yellowstone. The teasers, 2-part theatrical event, chapter 2. Yeah. Some people were saying that it was going to be 4, but I don't think so. It's just him loading up a gun kind of thing as a teaser. We know Costner can direct. I even like his Waterworld movie, guys. The cast list is impressive. Sienna Miller, Sam Worthington, Jenna Malone. Cool, I like Jenna Malone. Michael Rooker, Danny Houston, Isabel Furman. Cool. Yeah. She was in, not The Orphan. What the heck is that movie called? Is it Orphan? Yeah. Ella Hunt. Fascinating. Interesting cast. June 28th, 2024 is the first one, and then August 16th is the second one. Chapter 2. And apparently they're long. They're long. So yeah, looking forward to that. A Quiet Place is pretty much a silent movie. It's worthwhile, Arglass says. Yeah. I don't know this one. Keith Jefferson, Hateful Eight and Django Unchained actor, dies at 53. I try to remember him from Hateful Eight and Django Unchained. Who was he in Hateful Eight? Because that cast... Was he the driver of the stagecoach? He wasn't one of the main actors in The Big Room, so I don't know who he was in Hateful Eight. Django Unchained, though. Yeah, he could have been a background character. I don't know who. He had been diagnosed with cancer. That sucks. So cancer took him. 53 is young. Rest in peace. All right, guys. That's all I have in the can. I'm just really more upset about that Taylor Swift ticket thing. That gets me really, because I bought that properly. And when I bought those Taylor Swift tickets, there were other people, like the theater was almost full. Like it was filling up. So I won't be the only one that'll be angry about that. My theater there, Galaxy, has been not doing a good, like, I don't get upset yet, James. There could be nothing to be upset about. Maybe it filled up and they were just like, we're not going to advertise that time because it's full. I'm hoping that's it for the Taylor Swift thing. This is the theater where I've had problems because I've gone like 2 or 3 times on a Thursday night preview that was supposed to start at a certain time, and the theater owner has come in and said, sorry guys, we didn't download it properly and the show can't start. You'll have to come back another day. And it's like, that's what I'm feeling for this, and it just makes me so angry. For this will be like the third time now, and I will be so upset, so upset. And the fact that they didn't tell us so that we could have gone tickets for this, I would have to go get. I'm gonna go sort this out, and I'll get this seat D. This sucks because I was like right up here. Damn, damn, damn. Well, let's see. I'll get it sorted out today. First poster for the Iron Claw. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, what is today? What's happening today? It's a fourth. Like this is a 350. So I can go over there before we go out to the restaurant. Yeah. All right. All right. So I got some things to go out to do this afternoon, but it won't be till later this afternoon. So we will be streaming, I think, World of Warcraft today. But it won't be till like 1:30. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on today's show. Hit that thumbs up button. And as I said, we'll be back Monday for more movie news. Yeah, because I'm not going to take the long weekend for Thanksgiving. I'll be busy with family stuff on Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know what my streaming schedule will be over on Twitch. But I'll be on there as much as I can. Enjoy your weekend, guys. See you next time. Happy Thanksgiving.